years ago, I think 6 years ago. Excellent writer, excellent student, so it's so fun to be back and see her classroom. But I'm Dr. Holloman, and one thing you should know about me is I was an English major at University of Virginia, but first I was pre-med, then I was pre-law, then I was like, maybe I should be an engineer, and I'm so thankful that I chose the English major because I learned just how much I love writing and analysis of literature, and just looking at the course of my life and how much that degree really benefited me in my professional life. So those of you who are like, what should I major in? The English major or like a writing minor or a concentration is always good for your professional life. So just keep that in your mind if you're like, I don't know what to do, should I double major? Because what the English major does is it really hones your writing and analytical skills in any kind of field. So it's in your professional life. So at University of Virginia, one of my claims to fame there is I got the award for the best essay written by an undergraduate, which was a huge award. So I was like, maybe I should go to grad school and focus on writing. So I went to University of Michigan, got a master's and PhD there, but don't worry, I am a Penn State fan. I love Penn State football, and I had to learn a lot about Penn State football having Penn State students in my class. So leaving Michigan, now at Penn State, I teach freshman composition, so you may be in my classroom in the fall. I also teach advanced writing, which you have to take in your major, so as a junior or senior, you may take advanced writing. So Mrs. McGinty asked me, it was so fun seeing all your questions, and she said, what are the things I wish high school students would know for that freshman writing class? So last night I was thinking, I've worked on it for the past couple of days, and I thought of 4 things that I wish you all would know for freshman year. So if you want to take notes, you can. I don't know, did I take notes here?
Please take your notebooks out. Just in case you want to take notes, yeah. Please take out notebooks.
Yes, one thing you'll notice about the college classroom is you might be in a full technology classroom, meaning you'll be on laptops. Professors allow you to use your phones. You may not even be taking notes. You may have a computer monitor.
Just no computers for this one.
Yes, so you may be really amazed at just how much you're not using paper and pen anymore. I think that's interesting. People who are like, oh, it's weird to write on a computer. Okay, but I'm going to write down the 4 things that I wish incoming college students would know. And just so you know, I've been in the writing field for 20 years. I write professionally, magazines, blogs. I publish books in the Christian nonfiction genre because my faith is really important to me. And so years ago, I began to write about even like verbs I was seeing that related to spiritual practices. So pretty much my whole life, I'm obsessed with grammar and language. And I read grammar books for fun at night, I know. It's a problem. I mean, I really am obsessed with semicolons, and I think about the structure of language all night long. So this is something I think about all the time. So I was so excited to think, what are the 4 things I wish the freshmen would know? Okay, the first is this. What it means to have a written voice. Now, this is the weirdest and hardest thing to teach in writing. What does it mean to have a written voice? And so one thing I wanted to just define for you is your written voice is the sum of the stylistic choices you make in your writing. Punctuation, verbs, using really short sentences. Have you guys read How to Write with Flair, part of it? Those first 3 chapters, people are like, no, I hate that book. I wrote that book. Don't say anything bad yet. But you're making these choices about like verbs, vocabulary, semicolons, dashes. I mean, this is something that on the first day of English 15, which is the freshman class, I literally do this. I give them How to Write with Flair, and I take like 5 minutes. Oh, hello, welcome. I take 5 minutes, and literally, in my freshman classroom, I'll say, every single thing you write for me from now until eternity, I want that strong verb, and I give the example, and it doesn't even have to be no weak verbs. I'm talking about bland verbs, and I'll give millions of examples of, the English language is so beautiful, and I'm obsessed with verbs that sound like what they mean, or that are sounding like what they mean, like effervesce sounds like it's bubbling up, or crackle sounds like it's crackling. I mean, I could go on and on. Twinkle, twinkles, drip. I mean, I love verbs. So you're always looking for that. Now, I'm amazed at the number of college freshmen that have no command over vocabulary or a sense of verbs, where every sentence they're maybe using the exact same verb. Usually it's has or seems. Even my college seniors, they're not using any command of language, where every sentence they're actually able to create a mood and an image by this verb. And my seniors this year, They were like, Dr. H, my biology teacher cannot believe my writing because I'm using these incredible analytical verbs in my biology reports. Or when I have to write an engineering paper, they're amazed at why I sound so sophisticated. I was like, it's all the verb. Number 2, this is a huge issue for how to make yourself sound sophisticated and amazing, and it's just toggling, great verb, these punctuation marks. So you're so ahead of the game reading How to Write with Flair, knowing how to sound like an incredible writer just because you've managed cool punctuation marks. This is what a written voice is. It's how your voice comes out in writing through all these stylistic choices. And number 3, I always tell my students, don't be afraid of the really short sentence.
Yeah.
You know, put that really beautiful short sentence in there, vary your sentence lengths and openings. This is all that you're doing to create a written voice. And then the 4th thing, which you guys haven't read this yet, is just how to be clever in writing. Miss McGinty was saying you already knew about chiasmus, repeated first words, kind of sounding like Martin Luther King.
They don't know about that yet.
They don't.
We're
Okay,
reading chapters 4 and 5 at the end.
Now you guys already know some rhetorical theory, am I right?
Yes.
You guys, wait, ethos, pathos, logos. Okay. Some college freshmen they've never taken a class on rhetoric, but you all have many times to the point where you guys are tired of talking about it. Yes. No hesitation there. He's like, I'm done. I cannot do this
Don't
anymore.
talk about this.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something that will kind of hone for you what I'm looking for most. Are you ready? It's not what you think. 2 things. So you're going to do this. So that's number 1. Think about your written voice. You're not a high school writer when you get into college. Ooh, you're like a professional now, and you can think about how do I really quickly improve my writing using those basic skills. Okay, then the second thing that I'm amazed that I wish high school students were teaching, that high school students were teaching for these incoming freshmen, is the 2 parts of kind of like the rhetorical situation that I care about the most. You'd be surprised. It's actually not pathos, which everyone teaches, like everything needs to be about like emotion or why should we, what emotions is the reader experience, how can I manage emotion, it trumps everything. Actually, no, it's these 2 things. And this actually isn't in How to Write with Flair, but I just wanted to tell you. Ethos, it's whatever makes you have authority and trustworthiness to write. And people forget like how to create that in writing. So when you get into your English 15 class, and right away, and some of the papers you may write are things like analysis of advertising, or you may be asked to write a definition paper, or a compare or contrast about something, or do a rhetorical analysis of an article that the professor gives you. Well, it's so interesting to think, well, why should anyone listen to me? What kind of authority do I have to write about this? And it's really hard to teach people how to display authority in writing, but I'm going to tell you my favorite. My favorite way students display authority in writing as freshmen is just to say, right in that introduction, what their familiarity with the topic is. Have they researched it? Have they encountered it in some way? And my second favorite way to establish authority in writing is what I call the conversion experience ethos. That means you share how you've changed your mind about the topic. I used to think this, now I think this. I find it irresistible. I don't know. Okay, does anyone know what this is? Did you ever talk about kairos?
We did not.
Does anyone know what this word is?
I
What
do
is
it.
You
I do
know,
it in
language
my.
people? You talked about it last year. Did you take a rhetoric class last year?
Yeah, we talk about it in 11th grade actually.
And nobody remembers? Are you ready? Your professor's gonna love you. Yes! It's just the right timing. All it means is, why this, why now? Why am I talking about this right now?
Do you guys remember exigence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I mean by this is writing is always about entering into a conversation. And your job as a college writer is to always ask what conversations are happening around this topic. And how do I enter into that conversation? Meaning, who am I? Why should I talk about it? Why should I talk about it now? So really